tool or an insert edge loop tool. And put some additional edge loops in there. So you have just a little more finite control over how the body of the mug transitions into the handle. All right, so there we go. We modeled a coffee cup. Okay, let's go ahead and actually do a render of this now. So these are your 4 primary render options that you'll use right here along the top. Let's go ahead and click on the second one, and what that will do is it will open the render view window and simultaneously perform a render. Now what we're looking at right here looks pretty crappy. That's because we're rendering with the Maya software. What we want to do is we want to render this through Mental Ray. So I'll go ahead and click on this little icon right here and reperform that render, and it looks better. All right, if I click on this green icon, what that'll do is that will actually temporarily save that image. So if I perform some additional renders, we can scrub back and forth and look at some of the finite variables that we've tweaked between the two renders. I'll go ahead and click on this icon right here, which also exists up here in the horizontal menu in Maya. This brings up our render settings. Now here in Maya 2013, what we're going to do is the first thing that we'll adjust in the Common tab is we'll come down here and set the preset from 640 by 480 to 1K square. Okay, now what that'll do is that'll change the aspect ratio of our render. Okay, and we're also going to change the quality from draft to at least a preview final gather, all right, if not a production itself. So let's go ahead and render that and see how it looks. Okay, so we'll commit this. If I hit this 1:1, it'll show us the actual size. Excuse me. Now we can scrub back and forth and actually look at the quality difference between those two renders. All right, now with the production, this should turn on the final gathering for us. The final gathering kind of helps dictate how light will be bouncing around in our Maya scene. Now, coming back over here, just move the render settings over to the side. Coming back over here into Maya, I'm going to click on the Object Outliner icon, so it pops up kind of a list view of everything that's associated with this particular Maya scene. I'm going to click on the perspective camera. Actually, I'll double click on it, which will open it up in our attribute editor. Now, because we changed the render to a 1:1 ratio, I also want to change my camera